And this was your debut feature, right?
Correct, yes. I've done some short films. I went to film school at Florida State. There was a shout-out t-shirt in the movie. And yeah, so I made short films at school and first feature, so I dived in.
So you're an actress, obviously, as well.
I dabble in acting. Yeah, I wouldn't call myself an actress, but I do believe to happen.
So can I ask you something? Did you had funding for your film? Yes.
No, it was funded by loved ones and awesome people who believed in the story, but mostly sort of self-funded. We kept it really small so we could keep the budget really low. So that's why it's quite a personal story, and it's quite like my dad's in the movie. He's the dad. So I mean, yeah, we tried to make a little small family, but no funding.
So I have a couple of questions, but I'm going to throw it to the floor first. Are there any questions or comments from the audience?
Down the back?
Yes.
That was so beautiful to watch, the way it unfolded. It's true. And tell me, and the use of music was so beautifully done. And I looked at the credits, and there's all these different bands. Tell me about how you use music to evoke themes and emotions.
Well, actually, this is a perfect segue because the music was really important to me. I mean, I love music, and it was really, really important for me to get local artists and Scottish, preferably Glaswegian artists. So if you want to come see us in the lobby afterwards, we actually have soundtracks to give to everyone because I want to support the artists because they're so awesome and they all donated their music to us because they were behind it. How did it evoke emotions? Well, really, we just got lucky with finding. There's so much talent in Glasgow. It's kind of an untapped resource, I think. So it was honestly just, if the music moved me, if the song moved me, it kind of, it just fell into place. It's one of those things where you put it in and it works perfectly, and it, like when we put the final song in, Big River by Laura Beth Salter, when we put that in, it made my mum cry. Like, she was like just so beautiful. So, yeah, just kind of pure luck, I guess, in many ways. There's one song towards the beginning called We Don't Go There in Winter by Inuit, and it has those great lines where it's just like, I don't know anybody here, I don't know anybody else here, and I just randomly put it into that spot, but it was while the character's like isolated and lonely and trying to, she's feeling stagnant, so it just fit perfectly. Yeah, I'm gonna go with luck, but beautiful.
And you mentioned it was an intuitive process. Was your process in the making and writing of the film intuitive as well?
Intuitive in terms of the music or in just like the story? Yeah, I guess it was. It's kind of it's a theme that's close to home because, oh god, no pun intended there actually, but because I lived overseas for a long time, so I have struggled with not ever really feeling like I have a place, and so something that we're trying to work with this movie, one of the things we were trying to deal with is the idea of missed connections, like passing ships. So Sean and Olivia are never really like on the same page throughout the movie. There's obviously a connection there, but they miss their chance. And so it came from a very personal place where when I was living overseas, I lived in America for a number of years. I was missing out on my friends that I grew up with. I was missing out on them graduating and getting cars and sort of like becoming adults, starting to drink, going out and partying, all that stuff. I missed out on all of it. And then when finally I moved back to Melbourne, because I'm based in Melbourne now I'm missing all of my American friends, their weddings and their babies, and they're starting to get good jobs and careers and all that sort of stuff. So wherever I am, I'm always missing something. I'm missing an element. So that's sort of where it came from. My parents were actually living in Glasgow at the time, in that beautiful house. So I just had to capture that house because it was a gorgeous, built in 1875 house. And that was another element. They were living overseas for 10 years. And so lot of elements of just like, can we settle down? And in this world where we've got so much connection through social media and the internet and everything, like there's still so much isolation. There's almost a new kind of isolation. Gosh, there's a lot to it.
There is.
Any other comments or questions? Yes.
Yeah, Jay, I was watching the film and I kept marveling at the lead protagonist, thinking, how the hell did this director find this amazing actor? And I also marveled at the writing, so I'm still gobsmacked realizing that you were also the director. I just want to congratulate you and tell you how impressed I am. And also, I did want you to explain one thing because it wasn't clear to me. So what was the bet that made Sean so crabby that he had lost? I didn't get that.
I think in my head it was like a stupid student wager where it was basically like his friends were going, oh, you're like interested in this girl, huh? Like, we'll bet on, when you'll sleep with her or if you ever seal the deal. So I always imagined that it was sort of like a student boy sexual waiver sort of thing. Yeah, that's what I always imagined. And thank you for the compliment.
Oh.
No, it's a beautiful film, and it's shot like just you shot it on
I shot Canon 7D actually, which is the same as Gail Harvey.
Get one of those.
Looking
It's
at
an
the original
awesome camera. It almost has a 35 mil feel to it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. I have to say, what I loved about your film, I mean, I loved so many things about it, but what I really loved about your film is that she doesn't choose the guy at the end of the film. She maintains her autonomy, and she, as bittersweet as that was, or I felt it was, I just thought that I really liked that about your film. And I find that women directors, writers, tend to they don't tie that pretty bow at the end of their film, happily ever after, they're getting married, and next, chapter they're going to have babies, that there's always this kind of difference in the way women tell their stories when their character is, female, the protagonist, and I'm sure you've seen that in a lot of the films over the course of the past few years, so I really love that about your film.
Well, that's actually funny because while we were making the film, we were sort of joking about a sequel, if we'd ever do a sequel to it, and it would be called The Push, and it's where Sean comes to find Olivia in Melbourne or something. He's trying to reconnect. So watch out in the future, 10 years or so. Once we can actually get funding for the next one so we can fly Sean over to Melbourne.
So you had a DP, you had a DOP shooting that, and how many days did it take you to produce the film? I mean, in terms of production, like shooting, how many shoot days? Yeah.
We bashed it out, to be honest. It took us about 14 days of proper shooting, with a few extra days here and there on either side, like Krista, who's my producer, my editor, and my rock. She's there.
Hey, Krista.
She's down there right now. I couldn't have made a movie without her, honestly. And yeah, so there was a few days on either side where it was like me and Krista running around the city on a bus and sneaking shots at like the sights of Glasgow and all that sort of stuff. So about 14 to 16 days of shooting.
Pretty good. It's pretty amazing when you can shoot a feature in 14 days.
Yeah,
right.
That's the beauty of like the 7D and those HD cameras is, I know Gail's already said this, and I totally agree. It's why I chose to shoot it on a 7D. Is because you can be out in public and like in a busy, we were at the market and in a busy area, and nobody was really noticing that people were shooting a movie. They just assumed you were some tourist with like a big camera that looks like a tourist camera. So it's a beautiful device.
Yeah, and yeah, I gotta get it. Any last questions or comments for the director?
I wanted to reiterate everything that's been said. It was really lovely to watch, and it was a great feeling. The movie was a great feel. You kept coming back to the sky, that one scene of the sky with the clouds and the different music each time, and I felt very connected. That was a very connecting thing to all of it, I think, in our lives. It reminded me of a little saying that one of my university professors always used to say, the landscapes of women's lives, but in your subscription connected to that. So
I
thank you for
definitely
that.
want one of these.
You can keep that one.
I love the music. You've got to sign up for it.